Hi students, in the last class we discussed about definition of mixture and what are the methods which are useful to separate the substances present in mixture. Okay, there are 10 different methods given in your syllabus. Okay, in the last class we discussed about two methods. What are they? First one is hand picking, second one is winnowing. In hand picking method we can separate substances of different sizes, substances of different colors. By process of winnowing, we can separate the substances of lightweight and substance which is having heavier weight can be separated by using winnowing method. That means based on weight, which method we will use? Winnowing method. Size, heavier size, and color, which method we will use? Hand picking. Okay, in this class we will discuss the remaining separation methods. We start with third separation method, that is sieving. Third separation method, sieving. Sieving. Okay. What is the definition of sieving? Separation of particles of small size. Separation of particles of small size by using a sieve. Separation of particles of small size by using a sieve is called sieving. Is called sieving. S-I-E-V-I-N-G, sieving. Separation of particles of small size by using separation of particles of small size by using a sieve is called sieving. Okay. This is an example for sieve. It is an example for sieve. Okay, by using this sieve, we can separate small sized particles from large sized particles. In the case of hand picking also, we separate small sized particles from small sized substances from large sized substances. In this case, small sized particles from large sized particles. Okay, can we separate small sized particles from large sized particles by using hand picking? It takes so much of time. We can separate with the help of your hand. By using sieve, we can easily separate small sized particles from large sized particles. Example, we can separate flour from a mixture of flour and sugar. Flour means in Telugu pindi, wheat flour or something. We can separate flour from a mixture of wheat flour and sugar. That means sugar is having large size when compared with wheat flour particles. Okay, by using sieving we can separate wheat flour from sugar. Okay, sieve. By using sieving we can separate particles of small size when compared with large sized particles. This is about sieving. Examples. What are the examples for sieving? Okay, examples. First one, separation of flour from sugar. Separation of flour from sugar. That means mixture, we can separate flour from mixture of flour and sugar. Second example, by using sieve, farmers separate large sized grains from small sized grains. Okay, by using sieve, not this type of sieves are different. Okay, by using different sieve, farmers separated large size grains, high quality, good yield grains. Separation of large size large size grain from small size grain by using sieve. Okay, what is the use of large sized grains? Large sized grains are useful as seeds, are used as a seeds. Okay, so we can separate flour from sugar by using which method? Sieving. Farmers separate large sized grains from small sized grains by using which method? Sieving. Okay, once I will repeat. Separation of large sized substances. Separation of large sized substances from small sized substances, hand picking. Separation of small sized particles from large sized particles is sieving. Separation of particles of small size by using a sieve is called sieving. Okay, separation of heavier weight substance from lightweight substance by using which method? Winnowing. So hand picking, winnowing, sieving. In the case of hand picking, size of the substance is important. In the case of sieving, size of the particle is different from substances. Combination of particles is called substance. In substance, particles are present. Okay, particles are having very small size. With our naked eye, we cannot distinguish and we cannot separate. That's why we cannot separate small sized particles from large sized particles by using hand picking. We can only separate small sized particles from large sized particles by using a sieve in sieving method. It is about sieving. So we completed 3. First one hand picking, second one winnowing, third sieving. Fourth one is sedimentation. Fourth one, sedimentation. Okay, sedimentation. Okay, on which cases we can use sedimentation process? That means in which type of mixtures, for which type of mixture separation we can use sedimentation process. Okay, sedimentation process and decantation process is also there. Okay, in sedimentation process we can separate a soluble substance from the liquid. Okay, separation of soluble substance from a liquid. Separation of soluble substance from a liquid. Separation of soluble substance from a liquid. That means I already explained. Okay, in the starting class, in the introduction part, I added some amount of salt to this particular water. Okay, now I want my salt again. How can we separate that particular salt? How can we separate that particular salt from that particular water? Already all the salt dissolved in water. How can we get this particular solution? Okay, I explained to you. Okay, sedimentation, separation of insoluble. Separation of insoluble, very very important. Separation of insoluble substance from liquid. Okay, I will explain. In this, I added sugar. Is there any sugar particles here? All the sugar dissolved in water, yes or no? That means it is called soluble substance. That means all the water dissolves salt particles. Okay, I will take another example. Okay, it is a pure solution? No, it is not a pure solution. Is sand or soil dissolves in water? Never. Sand and soil never dissolves in water. That means insoluble substance. Sand is an example for insoluble substance in water. Sugar and salts are examples for soluble substance in water. That means the substances which can dissolve in water are called soluble substances. The substances which cannot dissolve in water is called insoluble substances. Okay, this method is related to insoluble substances. Insoluble substances, very very important word. Insoluble That means this substance does not dissolve in water. It never dissolves in water. Insoluble substance. This word is very, very important. Insoluble substance. Insoluble substance. Okay, how can we separate an insoluble substance present in a liquid? How can we separate? Okay, it is mud water. Mud water. How can we separate the mud from water? How can we purify this water? By removing mud. Okay, by using sedimentation and decantation process, we can separate water from mud or mud from water. So now I will explain the definition of sedimentation. What is the definition of sedimentation? So definition of sedimentation means separation of mud, or mud means soil. What is the meaning of mud? Soil. Separation of mud from water. Separation of mud from water. Separation of mud from water is called sedimentation. Sedimentation. Okay. Okay, you observe no sand, no mud particles are not dissolved in water. But if you observe, I will show this again at the end of the class. You will observe all the 90% of mud particles, soil particles are settled at the bottom like this, settled at the bottom. Some clear solution is available here. This type of process we call it as sedimentation. At the end of the class, I will show the clear solution here. Some mud particles are formed at the bottom of the glass. This type of process is called sedimentation. The process of separation of mud from water is called sedimentation. Mud particles, soil or sand particles are settled at the bottom of the glass. Some pure water present on the top of the glass. Okay. This is about sedimentation process. Diagram. Okay. Diagram. Say for example, this is beaker. Okay. By adding some soil to this particular one, say for example, this is mud. It is a mixture of mud and water. Leave it for some time. Okay, I also leave it for some time, for a long time without undisturbed. Okay, after some time the mud particles are settled at the bottom of the glass. Okay, then we will get a clear solution. Okay, mud particles are having high weight when compared with water. That's why it settles at the bottom. It settles it down towards the glass. It settles at the bottom. Okay, at the end of the class, I will show what happened to this particular glass solution. Okay. After some time, what happened? All the mud particles are settled at the bottom. All the mud particles are settled at the bottom. This is water. Okay, this is this is mud. That means mud particles are settled at the bottom of the glass. So this is mud. Okay, from this we can separate mud from water. So sedimentation definition is separation of mud from water. Separation of mud, soil from water is called sedimentation. Simple definition. Separation of soil from water is called sedimentation. Separation of mud from water is called sedimentation. This is about sedimentation process. This sedimentation process is used in purification of water. In the purification of water, we will use sedimentation process. Okay, with this we completed sedimentation process. Then, okay, another method, that is decantation. Okay, decantation. decantation. Fifth method, decantation. Fifth method is decantation. Fifth method is decantation. Okay, decantation, it is similar to sedimentation. Without sedimentation, there is no decantation. Okay, without sedimentation, there is no decantation. The same process is here. The definition of decantation is very easy definition. Separation of water from mud. Separation of water from mud. Separation of water from mud is called decantation. Separation of mud from water is called sedimentation. Separation of water from mud is called decantation. Okay? Okay. Observe, after some time observe, some clear solution is observed. If you kept this particular one for a long time, again you will get pure solution. Observe, some soil, some mud is formed at the bottom. Okay, now separation of water from mud slowly without undisturbance of mud. Separation of water from mud. Separation of water from mud. Separation of water from mud. Okay, here separation of water from mud. Here some impure water is also there. Here observe, some mud particles are settled at the bottom. This is called sediment. Sediment is formed in sedimentation. Okay, sediment is formed in sedimentation. That means simply separation of mud from water is called sedimentation. That means simply it settles at the bottom of the glass. That is nothing but sedimentation. Next, separation of water slowly from mud into another beaker is called decantation. Without sedimentation, there is no decantation. Without formation of mud at the bottom of the glass, we cannot separate pure water. Actually, it is not pure water. It contains some impurities. Okay, but it is one of the method in the purification of water. Okay. Next, decantation. Separation of water from mud is called decantation. These two are used in sedimentation and decantation methods are used in purification of water. This is about decantation. Okay. Next, sixth one, crystallization. Very important. Crystallization. Okay. Sixth one, crystallization. Okay, I will explain again. Okay, I added salt to this particular water. Within fraction of second, all the salt dissolved in water. Now I want my salt. How can I get this particular salt from this water? By using which method? Can we use hand picking method? We cannot use hand picking method because we cannot see salt particles here. All the particles are dissolved in water. Can we use winnowing? Can we use winnowing method? Can we use winnowing method? Can we pour this water into this particular one? Can we use winnowing? We cannot use winnowing method. Can we use sieve? Can I pour this one? All the water coming from this particular holes. So there is no use for that particular one. So by which method we can separate? Can we use sedimentation method? Can we use sedimentation method? Can we use decantation method? Okay. After 1 hour or 2 hour or 3 hours, if you leave this solution for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, there is no formation of sediment here. Observe, there is no formation of sediment like this. You observe sediment like this, but there is no formation of sediment because no particle is not formed at the bottom. That means no particles does not move towards the bottom of the beaker. All particles are dissolved in water. Here the problem is soil does not dissolve in water. That's why it settled at the bottom. But in the case of sodium chloride, all the particles are dissolved in water. Okay, we cannot separate by using sedimentation and decantation process. Okay, a new method is for this particular process. Okay, that is nothing but crystallization. Okay, that is nothing but crystallization. Okay, crystallization method is useful for crystallization method is used to separate, crystallization method is used to separate soluble substance, very important. Crystallization method is used to separate soluble substance, very important point, soluble substance in a solution from a liquid, Crystallization method is used to separate soluble substance from a liquid. That means that liquid dissolves that particular substance, like sodium chloride, like this. In this case, water is a liquid. Okay, water dissolves sodium chloride. Okay, crystallization method is used to separate soluble substance from a liquid. For example is salt solution. Example is salt solution. Okay, how can we separate salt from salt solution? Okay, with the diagram I will explain that particular activity. This diagram is important, okay, for 8 marks question in essay examination, summative examinations. Okay. What are the operators required for crystallization process? Crystallization activity. For a crystallization process, okay, operators, okay na, operators required for crystallization process activity. First one, beaker, okay, beaker, this is beaker, okay, beaker. Second one, salt, okay, salt, already added salt, we are added salt. Third one, tripod stand. Fourth one, tripod stand, we know already, this is tripod stand, okay, tripod stand. Fourth one, Bunsen burner, we have some idea about Bunsen burner diagram, okay. Fifth one, wire gauge. Sixth one, glass rod or spatula. This is spatula. We can use spatula or glass rod for stirring purpose. Why we are using stirring? Okay, to dissolve. Okay, if you use stirring process, all the salt dissolved in water. Okay, with the help of glass rod, we can dissolve all the salt in water. Okay, these are the operators used for the activity, crystallization activity. First one is beaker. You know some idea about beaker diagram. Salt means at your home we have salt, sodium chloride. Third one, tripod stand. Fourth one, Bunsen burner. Fifth one, wire gauge. Sixth one, glass rod. Now I will draw the diagram related to crystallization activity. Then I will explain that particular procedure. Okay, crystallization activity. Okay, diagram. So first, take a beaker and add some amount of water to that particular beaker. Take a beaker and add some amount of water, then add some amount of sodium chloride and add some amount of sodium chloride like this, some amount of sodium chloride. sodium chloride. This is salt. This is water. When you mix with glass rod, this is the diagram of glass rod. When you mix with glass rod, this is glass rod or spatula. It is made up of glass rod. With the help of glass rod, okay, all the salt particles dissolved in water. Okay, all the particles are dissolved in water. Now place this particular beaker on Bunsen burner with the help of tripod stand and also wire gauze. Okay, this is wire gauze, an iron mesh. This is wire gauze. This is wire gauze. Wire gauze. It uniformly distributes the heat to the beaker. It uniformly distributes the heat to the beaker. This is wire gauze. Next, tripod stand. It is tripod stand. Okay, this is tripod stand. Okay, now we introduce Bunsen burner. This is the diagram of Bunsen burner. Okay, flame. Write the parts also, very important for 8 marks. Okay, its name is tripod stand. Its name is tripod stand. Its name is Bunsen burner. In the starting class, I introduced some of the chemical operators. These are very useful for your 6th class chapter, separation of substances. That's why I introduced in the beginning class. Okay, Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner. Okay, this is about the diagram. It is very important. In examination point of view, draw diagram related to crystallization process. Draw diagram related to crystallization process. Otherwise, draw diagram related to separation of salt from water. Draw diagram related to separation of sugar from water. Okay, then we will draw this diagram. Okay, now procedure. What is the procedure? Already we know. Take small amount of water and add some amount of salt. Stir that particular solution with the help of glass rod. Say for example, take a beaker and add some and pour some amount of water and add salt to this particular beaker and stir like this. Okay, now this solution is called salt solution. With the help of tripod stand, Bunsen burner and also wire gauze. Okay, now heat this particular salt solution. Okay, now heat this particular salt solution. What happens? Say for example, let us assume this is Bunsen burner. Okay, my hand is wire gauze. Okay, my hand is wire gauze. Okay, with the heat coming from wire gauze uniformly distributed with the help of wire gauze, and the water present in the beaker absorbs energy. In rain lesson, we already discussed the process of conversion of water into water vapor on heating. Water is converted into water vapor on heating. So it absorbs energy from Bunsen burner. So the water molecules present in the solution are interested to evaporate from the solution. All the water molecules on long heating, all the water molecules present in the salt solution escapes into atmosphere. The salt present in, that means the salt which we added early, remains at the bottom of the beaker. Why sodium chloride salt does not evaporate? Actually it is a solid. Okay, if sodium chloride interested to evaporate, it wants more energy. Say for example, okay, for your knowledge I will explain. You have no knowledge about this particular one. Boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. That means if the temperature of this particular beaker reaches 100 degrees centigrade, all the water molecules present in the beaker evaporates into the atmosphere. But sodium chloride is also there. That means salt is also there in the beaker, but salt does not evaporate. Why? Because this salt is having boiling point 1413 degrees centigrade. 1413, not 100 degrees centigrade. If you give 1413 degrees centigrade temperature, then salt evaporates. It is not possible. Okay, so only water molecules evaporates into atmosphere. From that I can get my salt again. Okay, initially I added sodium chloride solution to this particular water. After some time I want my salt. I have an idea. I want my salt. How can we get that particular salt? By using this process, by using heating process, we can evaporate all the water present in the beaker except salt solution. This salt is formed as crystals at the bottom of the beaker, as crystals, not in pure form, as crystals, That's why this process is called crystallization. This process is called crystallization. We can do this activity with sugar also, okay. In this class we discussed about sieving method, sedimentation method, and also crystallization method. In the next class we will discuss the remaining concepts.